Hi everybody. My name is Lisa Brierley, and I'm sitting beside my husband Scott Brierley. And you just arrived at episode number 5 of Soulmates and Suitcases, and we have a very, very, very interesting conversation today with Cătălina, who's coming from Romania. And
Hello.
there's Cătălina. And she has been a psychotherapist for more than 20 years, a speaker and a founder of a movement that I'm really interested in hearing more about. I believe you call it hashtag Alive in Her, hashtag
Yeah.
Alive in Her. And so welcome, Cătălina. Yeah, so tell us a little bit about yourself, Cătălina, just to get started.
And kind of what got the movement going and that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
Yes. Well, because I was born and raised in a narcissistic family, I always dreamed of having, a big family, a healthy family, and so on. And so many years later, I created it. So I created this global movement to be as a global village, as a community where we can help each other and empower each other, support each other, and so on. So actually, it started from my own need,
Yeah.
of having a community. And after that, because I work in therapy with other survivors of narcissism, I've seen their need too. So I've considered it necessary and I created it.
Excellent.
Yeah.
And so let's go back many, many, many years. What sort of attracted you to get into the psychotherapy to start with?
Because I already had the skills from my narcissistic family, because in order to survive in a narcissistic family, to be able to read everything at a person, you need to read the room and so on. So I already had the skills. So it was natural.
I see. I see.
So I need the skills for surviving,
For surviving,
after
yes.
that. Yes.
In your experience, or do a lot of I'm going to use the word victim, or
Yeah.
the victim, do they sometimes end up becoming dependent on drugs or alcohol or food or
Yes.
something
For
that's
example, I got addicted to reading and working.
So
So
avoidance kind of thing.
avoidance?
yeah. So not drinking and drugs, but something
Yeah.
similar, let's say. Yeah, avoiding reality. So it was reading and working in my case.
Oh,
Yeah,
interesting.
because people need to go, to escape reality, need to go
Yeah.
into something.
So
Some healthy things, let's say healthy like reading, or unhealthy like
yeah.
drugs. Anyway, all of them are unhealthy because they're trying
Yeah.
to escape reality, but
Yes, exactly.
Some are just, there's severities in both.
yeah, yes, yeah.
And so I think we need to kind of dive deep into the whole the narcissism, understanding what that means, what that looks like, because I'm sure people's like little radars will go on when they hear that word, whether they're watching us on Spotify or watching us on or listening on Spotify or watching on YouTube right now. Can you please define it for us and maybe what people need to tune into if they feel like they're in that situation?
Well, if they are in this situation, it's better to see a therapist, and the therapist may explain to them and so on, to explain them better, to make them understand that it's not their fault, that it was never their fault, and so on. And in my case, it was nice because narcissist was everything I knew. So I didn't know anything else. So in my case, that was my reality. That was my normal situation, and I didn't know that there are families who don't experience this. I didn't even know that. Back then I didn't even know that it's a bad thing.
It was just normal.
Yeah.
It was just normal, and that was, I believe that was how the things are supposed to be. For one person, in my case, it was a grandmother, for one person who decided everything for everybody. Yeah. So you asked me about narcissists. So the narcissists are the one who are, let's say, running the world. We don't take American case, but well, yeah. And they decide for everybody. They don't have empathy. They are not interested in your needs, in your wishes, in your anything. And they just know what's best for you, or they say they know what's best for you, and they decide everything for you.
Yeah.
And of course, because they have no empathy and your needs are not important, of course, you end up doing exactly what they say.
Yeah. And so is the narcissist born or created in some way, or is it a little bit of both, or what goes on to create that?
Well, yeah, well, maybe they were created like this, for example, because my grandmother was like this. My mother turned out to be exactly like this. So in my case, I was, I was raised with a grandmother and a mother, and both were narcissists. My father and my grandfather, they were enablers, so they were just around the house. They didn't have any word to say. They were just there. But, my mother and my grandmother run everything, and they decided everything. So to answer your question, my mother became a narcissist because that's exactly how, she was raised.
And so
So she didn't know that
Oh,
this is not the right way to act, because
yeah.
that's exactly what she saw in her family.
So were you feeling yourself in that space of, ooh, I could have these tendencies myself, or was that an awareness thing?
Yeah, well, actually, we all have these tendencies, let's say, but it's important to use them for the right things, not for because
Yeah.
if I have, let's say, ambition and I can become a CEO or something like that, okay, it's good. But if I use them in a negative way to manipulate people,
Yeah.
that's not good. So it's important to realize, okay, maybe we all have them, but to use them, to decide how to use them.
Yeah.
I wrote a book, I wrote my memoirs,
Oh,
and
yeah.
this gentleman read it and he emailed back and he goes, I think you need to go in and get checked for being a narcissist. And I know with my family traits, like I know I hover the line really close,
Yeah,
and I need to really pay attention that I'm not controlling and I'm not manipulating and I'm not.
exactly. Because if we realize, okay, I might have some tendencies, okay, but I'm careful how to use them. I'm careful, and I would be interested in your memoir. You can send me
Oh,
the link after that so I can buy it and read it.
perfect. Thank you.
Perfect, thank you.
Appreciate that. And I know Scott too has said too, when he wrote his book, which is now probably close to 3, 4 years ago
Yeah,
now, it was a literal like throwing up of words. Like he needed to get it out of his system. And
Yeah,
you said it's kind of like it's there now, but it's not me almost anymore. It's like,
not really what I wanted anymore. Like it's how I wrote it, but it's not what my intention was. I'm not very schooled, and I'm writing another book that's similar, but I want to talk more about what I found for recovery because I've been around 12-step programs my whole life. To me,
yeah,
they only take you that far. And then
yeah.
when you can step outside the box and search other avenues to get healthy, that's when, to me, I started getting really healthy.
Yes, yeah, but actually, your first book, you read it, I mean, you wrote it because you wanted exactly to get it out of the system. So
Yeah.
it was somehow as a therapy for you.
Yeah.
yes. Oh,
Oh
yes.
yeah.
It wasn't even important if it get published or not. It's
Yeah.
important that, yeah, it was good
Yeah.
for you.
Yeah, exactly. And we knew it would help other people. Well, it would help Scott at the same time, but also help other people to know they weren't alone in these, like struggling in these situations where, like you said, it was
Yeah,
the norm. It was the norm in the family, right? And so
yeah.
at what point do people go, this is the narcissistic sort of behavior is not good versus, oh, we have some tendencies of those things. And when do you worry and when do you go, oh, it's not a
For example, all the narcissists use gaslighting. I believe you know,
yeah,
yeah, the
gaslighting. Yeah.
term. So yeah, gaslighting. So when we are gaslighted, for example, I was gaslighted for many years. You don't know, you start doubting your reality. You don't know, oh, am I crazy? Do I see this situation right? And so on. So of course, we know that's not a good thing.
Yeah.
Well, I know
Yeah.
my
So,
mom likes to make up stories.
oh yeah, my mom does that too. Yeah.
Like, I'll use one example. I'm at my niece's funeral and I wasn't talking to my mom and I hadn't talked to her in years. And she runs around the table and jumps and hugs me and then starts immediately telling me what I need to do. And I looked
Yeah.
at her and I said, it takes two people to have a relationship and you're not willing to change. So she went back to my other nieces and nephews at the hotel and said, Scott told me it was my fault that Glennis died.
another relative, like nothing to do with
Completely nothing
anything.
to do with, and it's like,
Yeah, but you know, sometimes in their mind, they really believe this.
oh,
So
she
it's not
does, she
only,
believes
it's
it to
not
the
only,
day.
yeah. It's not only a story they make up, you know, or they want to victimize themselves. Oh, but my son told me this. In some cases, okay, they just want to play the victim. But in other cases, it's real in their head. So
Okay.
they just hear, they heard, you know, she heard that you said this, which is, oh my God, you know,
Yeah, and you're like,
it's
what?
mind blowing.
It
What?
is. It
Yeah.
is mind blowing. And
I would say a lot of things, but I wouldn't say that.
yeah,
Yeah, I didn't even think of saying this.
yeah. And I know Scott has decided that the healthiest place for him is to not have ties with
Yeah.
some members of the family because of the toxicity and kind of the black hole that can happen. And he's let some back in, and it's still tentative on some of that stuff. But
Yeah.
I'm wondering, Catalina, what do you say, or how do you help your clients see like their relationship now with possibly members or spouse or something when they become aware?
Well, if it's mother or brother or so on, I
Yeah,
encourage zero contact or minimum contact. And
yeah,
actually, that's exactly what I do. So, not that I encourage,
Yeah.
not only that I encourage my clients, that's what I'm doing in my
yeah,
life too. And it's very healthy and very good. And I
good.
can breathe, and yeah, it's very good. And if it's a spouse, ideally to get a divorce.
Yeah,
However,
yeah,
it's not,
yeah,
it's one of the hardest things to do though.
Yes,
It's
yes,
like,
yes, of
it is,
course.
it's, people think, like, I know oh, it's easy for you, you just walk away. I don't just, it's not that simple.
No. Of course, and if they are married to a narcissist and they have children, of course,
yeah,
after that, even though they divorce, they need to co-parent with a narcissist and
yeah,
so on. Yeah, so it's not easy. None of this is easy, but okay, it's possible.
Yeah.
yeah,
And ideally, instead of staying in a toxic relationship, ideally is to get out of it.
yeah, yeah. That's for sure.
Even though it's not even though it's not easy.
Yeah,
It's funny how you said that, get out of a toxic relationship. Most people that I know have no clue what a toxic relationship even is.
you mean it's
Yes, yeah,
It's so their norm that, and then
yes.
something different? Yeah,
Lisa and I met almost 5 years ago. And coming from the background I have, mind you, she's a saint, so it's a little bit easier that way. We haven't had one argument. We've had a couple days where we've looked at each other and went, I'm at odds with you today. We just kind of need to be, and that's it. And it's like,
but we actually have open conversations of this. Like we were just talking about being a narcissist before we came on with you. It's like, well, what is happening? And because I talked about a previous relationship of mine and feeling like a conversation would start and it would go like this all the way back around, and I was still the problem. And I was like,
Yeah.
I remember feeling that a lot. And then he goes, I feel
oh,
like sometimes our conversations go
well,
like
no, but
that.
no, what I said was, I wonder if that's why it bothers me when I feel like a conversation just goes like this.
But we're very
Yeah.
open to the to this like communicating what's going on and our past patterns, because is narcissism is like it's like a pattern, right? Something that's happening, and it's just like the norm, the pattern that's been normalized.
Yeah, but for example, in my mother's case, and probably in your mother's case too, it's they don't listen, they don't
Yeah,
hear, so they don't have patience to listen what you have to say. So you say two words, and after they jump and said, "Oh, but something like
they
that."
interrupt.
So
Yeah,
yeah, so actually, it's not a conversation because you don't get to have a proper conversation. So you can't solve anything because there is no conversation.
yes,
And
yeah,
after they just say something, I don't know, related to that matter or not. So there is no conversation.
yeah. And so, is there help for the narcissist?
Eh, in many cases, no.
Well,
Interesting.
because they won't admit there's something wrong. My
Yes, but
mother,
yeah,
I'll
exactly.
go
Yes,
back to my
please.
mother.
Yeah,
None of her kids, except for one that has more interested in getting the inheritance,
yeah,
talks to her. And,
Yes.
but we're the problem.
Yeah. So but if they have no problem, if they're always right, if they know better and so on, they don't need to go to therapy or anything like that. And even if they would go to therapy, they know everything. So, the therapist is stupid and so on. Yeah,
What
because
is,
it's
Yeah.
normal because they know better. Everybody's stupid and so on. But besides, they have no problem because they are very well the way they are. I mean,
So maybe,
they believe, I mean, they believe they are very well.
yes,
Yeah, so they took all the advantages in a situation and so on. So they are not bothered by anything.
no,
So
no,
why would they change?
no. However, are they truly? Do we know that answer? Are they
No,
actually
no, no,
truly?
no. Actually, they are not happy. There's a lot of depression and
Yes,
anxiety
yes,
beneath the narcissist and so on. Yes, but probably they don't know it or they don't want to admit it, but if they go out, in a, I don't know, with friends or so on, they are the center of attention. So they are very well and very famous and so on. But when they go home behind closed doors, they have depression, anxiety, and so on. But people usually don't know this because they see only the glamour.
yeah, yeah. The persona on the
yeah,
outside, yeah. Um,
Yeah.
what do you know what sort of percentage or ratio of people are that?
Well, it says that 1 of 5 people around the globe are narcissists. So
One in
one in
five.
five. Yeah, 1 in 5. Yeah, I heard this last year. So last year some studies were made and they said that 1 in 5, which is a lot.
Yeah,
So you can have a husband, a mother, a boss, or a neighbor. So there are a lot
yeah.
of narcissists around the globe.
What sort of red flags can people be aware of if they are, newly dating or anything like that in terms of a new relationship or connection with someone and they
Well,
don't want
when
to
they're
find themselves in that?
Yeah, when they are newly dating, probably they won't see it in the first dates, but it's important that when they see it to just leave the relationship. But it can see from the first coffee with somebody, the way they treat the waiter,
Yeah.
the way they, I don't know, take chew cheesecake, even though you wanted, I don't know, something, the lava cake or just a tea, and so on. If they listen to you, if they have empathy, if you try to tell them something and say, oh, but let me tell you something about myself, oh, but it happened to me, and so on. So actually, there are signs even from the first dates.
Hmm.
there is help for the narcissist because the way you described that,
Yeah.
I was like that.
Yes, yeah. Some
And I know
narcissists, if they
today I'm
realize it,
not.
yeah. Great. And what helped you to get better?
I
Well, you
think,
had several
well,
things,
several, like
certainly.
I said earlier, I've gone to AA
Yeah,
most of my life. I don't drink
yeah,
anymore. I don't drug. I don't smoke. I exercise. I went for trauma therapy for 2 years, once a week.
yeah,
I've done numerous self-help programs.
yeah,
Uh, what else? I retired early at an
yeah,
early age.
You had some life scares.
I had some life scares, like I've had cancer, I've got diabetes. I mean, I was almost killed at 7 by a car.
oh,
So I've had
yes,
lots of, and I've often even thought of that with my mom. There was a time when my brother that I was talking about earlier, I'm at home with the cash from my waist down to my feet, right?
yeah,
Well, I had cabin fever stuck in my bedroom, so he hauled me downstairs to watch TV downstairs. And my mom came home from work. Now, I almost died a month or earlier. So she came home from work and went right to the bedroom to see how I was doing, and I wasn't there. So you can imagine what went through her brain. I mean, I'm only imagining, but
And after that, what happened? So she had
I
a
don't
panic
I don't
attack because
remember what
you,
happened after that. I was only 7, but I could
yeah,
see how, like, her dad was nicknamed Wild Bill.
yeah,
He climbed over the boards in Boston, Massachusetts at an NHL hockey game and punched out a ref. Like, that's what the background she has. So she comes
oh,
by it really naturally. But
yeah. Yeah, but you are a great example that people can change. And yeah, but actually, I was wondering what motivated you to change. I mean, when you realized, oh, but yeah, okay, I'm a bit narcissist and I would
Well,
like to change.
I think because my medication to combat all that and all this, the trauma and stuff was drugs and alcohol,
Yeah,
and my emotional level was probably of a 7-year-old kid. I came to recovery really young,
A
a
teenager.
teenager, and then
yeah,
relapsed after my first somewhat serious relationship, and then got a couple of years in again and had another serious relationship and relapsed. And I found over time it just wasn't working. And then by the time I realized, got back to recovery at 40-ish or 30 something, 40-ish, I knew I had burnt the ticket out for using it. I knew it didn't work.
yeah,
And nothing really worked around it. No matter how hard I tried, nothing would work. I couldn't create friends. I couldn't keep a job. I like all this stuff. And then I got prostate cancer after a divorce at 11 years clean. And I got to the point where I wanted to die more than I wanted to be alive. And in
and that
there,
was the point.
and that was the point where I started growing and changing and really reaching out. And I did some psychedelic therapy too, which also really helped.
Yeah, so actually you got to the, I don't know, lowest point, let's say,
Yeah.
in order for you to say, no, I don't want to be here
For a long
anymore.
time,
And
like
yeah, for
not
a
just
long
a
time.
short time. And how I didn't
Yeah.
get drunk or anything, I have no idea. Like I look back at that time of my life and I'm like,
Yeah, but your story is very inspiring.
Thank you.
Very, very inspiring. So, yeah.
and that's all I would like to do today is inspire people to grow and change because our life is gone in a minute. And
Yeah.
why are
And
we,
it's a pity to, exactly, it's a pity to live this life.
yeah, like watching people just struggle and keep doing the same things. It's like, why?
Yeah,
Yeah.
when you just like yourself, not in
Yeah.
the norm of the narcissistic family, and you saw something else, he's the same way. I'm the same way. It's like, wow, when you kind of step over to the other side, it's like, yeah, like look at that over there. I don't want that anymore. It's a pretty cool thing to be in that space.
Yeah. And actually to decide now from today, now I won't accept this anymore. If people are talking rude to me or anything like that, I don't accept it. No, I deserve respect and so on.
It
Yeah.
is, at first, it is lonely.
Yeah.
Just a brief pause in the show. If you'd like to dive deeper into our work, our books are available on Amazon. You can also get instant electronic copies at payhip.com/Lisa Scott Brearley authors. Now, back to the show.
Because you're changing and all your friends are kind of getting left.
Yeah.
However, the people that are coming in, you can have amazing conversations like the one we're having right now. And is it
Yeah.
a
Yeah.
slow process? Absolutely. Maybe if I was younger, it might be faster and not been put through all the stuff so I could trust a little easier. And however, I know as time goes, I've used the analogy before how when you're in the storm, like the crap storm, it gets
Yeah.
bigger and bigger as the more you feed it. Well, the same as getting healthy. The more you feed it, the healthier you
Yes.
get and the bigger
Yeah.
it gets, and you draw more people in. And
Yeah. And even though you lose all your friends when you decide to switch, exactly as you said, okay, but better people are coming.
yes,
Yes. Are
Yes.
do
Yeah.
you find most of your clients are women?
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
And they are in narcissistic relationship, they are married and so on. And I help them get a divorce.
Yeah.
And
And
it's not easy because they find excuses to their husbands and so on. And oh, but he's a not bad man. Oh, but maybe he had a bad day and so on. Oh, but he bought me flowers. Oh, but
well,
I don't know how many.
maybe I'll send you my two books too, and you can
Ah,
share them
yeah,
with your clients.
yeah, 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 yeah. Please do.
But I was going to
Yeah,
ask,
but
yes,
yeah, please.
I was going to ask you, how, like, what is it you, that your clients, the women are experiencing when they walk into you? Like, what can you visually see pretty much when they walk into you?
Well, it's very clear that they are in a toxic relationship,
Yeah.
but it's very clear for me because for them it's not so clear. They just probably can't sleep or can't focus or have a brain fog, but they don't
Yeah.
know why. So they're not coming to me knowing they're in a toxic relationship. They come to me, but oh, I forget things. Oh, but I don't know. I don't know. I'm confused about the reality. Oh, but I can't sleep proper. I'm tired all the time, and so on. Or my child has some behavior problem, and so on. So, they don't see their toxic relationship. When they start telling me about the relationship, I'm thinking, oh, but
There
it's
we
so
go.
clear. Yeah, there you go. Yeah, of course, I can't tell them exactly like this, but, step by step, I make them realize, and after that, help them to get out from there.
Yeah.
Is there the demographics of narcissism, is it mostly like, is it spread out equally between the genders, or is that
Yes, but because in therapy get women,
Yeah.
I hear a lot about narcissistic men.
Yeah,
But of
no, I
course
know.
not.
It was
I
just
know.
more of a question. It wasn't.
Yeah.
Yeah. So there are both men and women narcissistic. I don't know exactly the percentage, but yes. But if we read the news and so on, we hear about only narcissistic men
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
the women, come or go to the authorities and so on. So that is why you have the impression, oh, but there are a lot more men,
Yeah.
narcissist men than women. But actually, it's not like that. But so in my case, I hear a lot about narcissistic men because women come to therapy.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
But of course, I know from my own experience that with my mother and grandmother that there are narcissistic women too.
Yes.
And
Yeah.
most men don't reach out for
And
help.
often, yeah.
Yes,
I don't know what the
that is
percentage
why.
is, but I know
Yeah.
we're tough and we're cool and we're good the way we are.
Yeah.
Yes, and but men don't have to express their feelings and so on. Oh, but it's a shame to get vulnerable and so on. And not many men go to therapy. So that is why we hear only about narcissistic men, being abusive and so on.
And
But of
so,
course, there are a lot of narcissistic women too.
oh, yes, yes. And so when you kind of support your clients, the women, to see kind of the situation they're in, do you take them through this sort of understanding of, they're not seeing their self-worth, they're not seeing their confidence anymore, or like what's the next step? I know you said you
Yes,
help
but
people.
Yes, but usually they lose confidence. If
Yes.
they stayed in their marriage for many years, they lose the confidence. They don't know the reality and so on. They have a lot of anxieties. They believe they are worthless. They believe that, oh, but I can't do much. Oh, but I couldn't manage without him. Oh, but I couldn't raise my child without him, and so on. So yes, we need to gain confidence. And actually we gain confidence seeing the exact things they are doing because they are already doing a lot of things. They are driving the car, they have a great job, many are managers and so on. They have a great salary. They are already raising their child mostly by their own and so on. So we look at the good things and we rebuild that self-confidence that was destroyed in the toxic marriage.
Yeah. And it takes a while to rebuild. That itself is
Yes,
process.
yeah, because let's say you have one therapy session in a week, and after that, if they are still in that marriages, the husband has busy. You understand how many hours per week, so I
Yeah.
can't convince them when 1 hour when they destroy the other hours. So that is why it's not easy.
Yeah, it takes time when you think about, how many years it took to
Yes.
create that, like it takes some years to undo and then build up again as well.
Yes, yeah. And many are already in that marriages. So, as I said, it's not easy
Yeah. Yeah. I
with
think,
one therapy session to convince them. Oh, but
and when you have the connections, either it's children or like you talk about your family and you have those blood connections that you're like, you feel like this, societal expectation, or you feel this like I have to connect with this person because I have kids with them, and so it
Yes,
always plays on you a little bit, I guess, until that
yes,
something
yes.
changes.
Yes, and it depends of the country. For example, in Romania, my native country, for many years it was, oh, but it's a shame to divorce. Oh, but oh, and your family would have told you, oh, but no, you bring a lot of shame into us if you got a divorce. And what will people say? We had this expression, what will people say? Yeah, so we are interested what others will say, and so on. Or if you have the courage to divorce, oh, but no, you are a bad woman because you leave your kids without a father. So we had this expression, you leave your kids without a father, which of course is a stupid because
Yeah.
the father may still be involved if he wants to. So we had a lot of pressure from our families and society, a lot of expressions, and that is why, yeah, it wasn't easy. And unfortunately, we still have this. So many women don't get a divorce because, they are blamed by their family, society. And of course, they are not supported by their family.
Yeah.
The divorce rate in Canada, I don't know what it is, but it's huge. Like I hardly know any marriages that have survived.
Really?
Like
Oh,
a couple, but not very many.
No,
oh,
not too many. There are some, and not always healthy.
Yeah.
Some that are surviving. But I think the point is too, but the marriage is a man-made sort of thing, right? So if the actual certificate and the ceremony and all the money is spent didn't exist, would you stay with that person? Like that's kind of the question, right? Is that healthy for you if it wasn't all those outside expectations?
well, yeah, but in many countries, there is, oh, but we build a house together.
And yeah,
Oh,
that's what I
but
mean, right?
yeah, but we have, and so on and so on. Oh, but we need to share something. Or there are a lot of men who, let's say, blackmail women that, oh, but if you decide to leave me, I will take your kids away. I
Yeah.
will lie to the judges and take that you are a bad mother and take your kids away. So, for example, in Romania, there is that, that threat that, oh, I will take your kids away. And that is why many women remain in that marriages. So, yeah. But
Yeah.
for example, in Canada, what do you think, why do you think the divorces occur? I mean, people got married having different values, or what happens?
That's a great question.
I've always equated it. Do you know the Bic lighter?
Yeah, yeah.
I think society has gotten like the Bic lighter.
In what way?
In
Well,
what way? Yeah.
everything's throw. We can throw it away. We can
Throw
throw it away.
away, throw away.
However, though, I've learned another term. Everything has a shelf life.
Yeah.
Everything, and it could be the complete life, and death is the shelf life, or it could be till the kids are out of school, or like the shelf life could be even, oh, before I even get married, that's the end of the shelf life.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah, but something might be there too, if there are so many divorces, probably, so they didn't marry the right person, and I'm
Yeah.
sure there is a bigger explanation there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people too. I don't know if you notice this or see this at all, that when COVID happened, this big like, oh my goodness, and then, oh my goodness, what am I doing in this situation? Like life is short. I could die, my family could, whoever, whatever. And so I
Yes,
think
yeah,
this sort of, I don't know if the right word is existential, but anyway, this crisis kind of happened in many of us that kind of said, what am I doing?
yeah.
That might be
And
perfect.
yeah, so somehow they open the people's eyes. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I need to do it now. And besides, with the corona, as you said, and so on, people lived on the same roof. They didn't go to work and so on. So spending so much time together really has to, oh, I don't like this person, or fight started and so on.
Yeah. Yeah, we're all stuck in houses together at that point. Yeah, exactly.
I was by myself in a house.
There you go.
Great. Yeah, but it's interesting to study what happens in Canada. That's an interesting subject. I
Yeah.
didn't know that the divorces rate is so high there.
Well, it's I know just yeah, and the people that we know. There's
Well,
many who have remained.
I got on my mom's side, I have 5 aunts and uncles, and all but one of them have been divorced. On the other side, my dad's side, actually, both aunt and uncle stayed together.
Mm.
Yeah.
But out of almost all my friends, I know they've been divorced. My brother's been divorced 3 times. My
Oh,
sister's been divorced twice. Like it's crazy.
Yeah, my own family, three out of the 4 kids have divorced
oh,
and remarried. Only one still is with their same.
I learned
Yeah.
where I met Lisa was at this self-development, 7-day self-development thing, and this gentleman gave me the best piece of advice of my life.
So you can take this on if you'd like.
Yeah,
yeah. Please say it. Don't
So-
remember it.
He goes, we had to write our hopes, dreams, and goals. And so I wrote him the night before, and he asked me, what's your big hope? And I said, I want a partner in my life. And he goes to me, what are you going to say to your partner when you wake up in the morning? I'm like, I'll roll over and say, hey, babe, I love you. And he goes, well, why don't you one up that? And I'm thinking, you can't one up that. Like, come on. And he goes, why don't you roll over and say, hey, babe, how can I love you today?
Oh.
And then that's giving Lisa the opportunity to teach me how she needs to be loved today. And we did it every day for a long time. And then we even kind of one-upped it a little bit. At the end of the day, we asked if we fulfilled our commitment to each other. And that's what I think we're the biggest part of, like you're asking, where the divorce rate.
Yeah.
It's me. What can I get? What can I get? Not what can I give?
Yeah.
As soon as you start giving, if both of you give, like, all I want is the best for Lisa. Like she goes, oh, I want to do this, have fun.
But not in the loss of you as a person.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
not in the loss of
Yeah.
ourselves, but
Yeah, but
Yeah,
that's great.
Yeah.
Yeah, because you're right. We don't ask the other, but what your needs are.
Yeah.
How
Yeah.
is it okay for you to be loved? Yeah, what exactly would you like from me today?
and it's really awkward in the beginning.
But
Like it is. It's like,
Yeah, because it's not familiar. But after that, yeah,
yeah, it
yeah.
became
Actually,
quite
I didn't hurt anyone.
see, in my
asking
head, when
this.
Matt was asking her that, it's like, can you just ask me to clean the garage out? Just something really.
something I need to get done.
But it was funny. I wasn't working when we first moved in together, and Lisa was working. So if I was working and Lisa wasn't working, I would expect her to kind of look after the house and cook dinners and
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I almost had to fight with her in the morning to let me get her coffee and make her breakfast, and it was pretty.
Because it was my norm. I did everything that way in my previous marriage, and it became my norm. So we actually were able to like sit down and talk about that and go, I learned to be able to say thank you, which sounds
Yeah.
really crazy, simple. But he'd bring me a coffee and I wouldn't say, oh, you shouldn't have. I'd say, thank you. Like it's easy. Like it's great.
Yeah, and to be really happy,
Yeah.
and to give yourself permission to receive.
Yes.
Yeah, because we don't know how to ask for help. We don't know how to receive great things. Or if we receive great things, we are, oh, what this person wants. I'm sure this person
Yeah.
wants something if it was nice to me.
Exactly.
I did want something.
Yes,
I wanted a partner.
Yeah.
yes.
I didn't know how to do it, but I was learning from other people that have kind of helped me, and I was learning from what Lisa said, like what she said she wanted done.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's cool. It's really
Yeah,
cool.
it's really cool. And the way you look at each other, it's wow. So you don't need words to describe your relationship. It just, it's clear.
It just
Yeah.
radiates. I know people have told us
A
that.
lot of people have said that.
But it's
Yes.
interesting. Like we're both on our second marriages and we're mid-50s kind of age. And it's good to know, it's not over and there's still hope in your future if you're kind of having a rough situation or whatever, a rough relationship. And you can always there'll always be something on the other side, somewhere else. You just don't see it yet.
Yeah, so even if you don't see the light at the end of the tunnel, just be sure there is there and go look for it.
Exactly.
Also, another thing that, have you ever heard of Michael Singer?
No.
The writer. Yeah.
He's a writer,
Author,
and an author, I should say. And he wrote this book called Untethered Soul.
Okay.
And he goes on to talk about the stories we tell ourselves.
Oh.
And it's like, who even give permission for you to talk to you the way?
Yeah.
Like, because we're the worst on ourselves. And like nobody can talk to me like I do, talk to myself.
Yeah.
I wouldn't tolerate it. And
Yeah.
he goes on and talks about that. And it's like, it's one reason why I was able to allow my brother back into my life for a while. Because I had to change the story a little bit to the point I got that since he was back in my life, I got diagnosed with ADHD, and he used to beat me a lot when I was a kid.
Yeah.
Well, the true story is he did beat me a lot, but the true story is I antagonized the heck out of him. So who's really at fault? Sure, he's 4 years older than me, so there's a difference. But if he would beat me up and I'd fall on the ground and get back up and call him names again to antagonize him, do I not have to take some of that ownership? Yes. So it kind of shifted stuff in me and helped me change the story even more in my head about how it was.
Yes.
Mm.
And that, yeah, we have a role into our lives and in every relationship. Yeah, it's
But
very
it's also,
interesting.
it was 30 years that we had even talked. So I'm listening to this book. Are the stories I'm telling myself, are they even true? Because
Yeah.
I don't know about Romania, but in Canada, we have this game. It's called the telephone game, where we'll be sitting around a campfire and I'll tell Lisa something and she's got to tell the next person. It goes
Oh, we have it
campfire.
too. Yeah.
And by the time it gets back to you, it's not even close to what you told the person beside you.
Yeah.
Who knows?
We have this one too. Yeah.
Yeah, who knows? Who knows? And
Yeah, but
so-
actually we remember things like that because some stories we created as children and there is nobody out there telling, oh, but that's not the real story. So we keep those stories because we are sure they are true.
Yeah. And it created our identity, right? Who we think we are, what we're worth, and that sort of thing. And I know your own story, your own past, Cătălina, really helped you to help your clients. And then you started a movement. So can you tell us more about this movement and who you're interacting with?
Well, I'm interacting with women and I want to build something big where women can support each other. So not to be, that thing to put others down and so on, but to support. And it's important, for people to know that they speak the same language. They went through the same experiences like narcissistic relationship and so on, and to understand that they are not alone. Because, for example, in my case, I didn't know that some other people, it happened the same for them. I thought I am to blame and so on for everything that happened to me. So I would have used such a group to understand that, some people went through the same thing. So that's the idea of the movement, for people to understand that they are not alone, not to feel alone, and to feel that support that they need.
Yeah, that's incredible. That's one of the things I think that I've come to understand over the last couple of years is that people desire to be heard in some way.
Yeah, heard, understood, seen, and to receive empathy. And, to be heard by somebody who said, oh, but I understand what you went through. Oh, I went through the same thing. Oh, but it wasn't your fault. You were in a, I don't know, toxic marriage or so that is why I believe it's very important. And people can be from different, Canada, Romania, and so on, because actually, you see, the narcissism is the same, the toxic relationship are the same. So, they speak the same language.
Mm-hmm.
People can be heard. Yeah, a woman from Romania can be heard by a woman from Canada and encouraged and so on. But it's very important to know that they are not alone.
Yeah, oh, 100%. I think that's one of the things that you, like Scott talked about the Michael Singer book, you get in your head and that's all you hear is those things and that's just your norm and that's
Yeah, you
you're
are
bad and
worthless, you
you're
are
all those
good of
things.
not, yeah, you are stupid, you are worthless, you'll not realize anything in life. We have a saying in Romania, nobody will pick you. Like no
Ah,
man will choose you. Yeah, nobody
yeah.
will pick you. Not like you're an object in the supermarket and somebody needs to pick you. But we have this, oh, but you know, you are a worthless woman. Nobody will pick you. Like you can't find another partner and so on. So that is why it's important to hear similar stories and to realize that, oh, but no,
I love
no.
that. Having that space is really, really fantastic. And I think Catalina, that is a great movement, a great initiative to start and to have the educational background that you have as well to be able to guide people. And I think one of the things when you had mentioned, they won't be picked by someone. I think
Yeah,
this is one of the things I've realized over the last several years is that I need to be picked by myself first. And so
yes,
understanding that, that regaining that confidence in your worth and what you deserve and you deserve love and to be heard and all those things. And then extending that as well, something I learned while kind of accompanying Scott to some of these AA meetings is, rehashing a lot of the old stories sometimes can be um, poisonous, detrimental. I don't know what the word is. And
yeah.
so understanding that what happened to you, I guess, in some way. However, you can shift from today forward. Like that is a possible thing.
Yeah, and because we just survived, we didn't live. So it's
Yeah.
important to understand that you can live, you can be fully alive, you can thrive, you can be happy, you can laugh, and so on. Yeah, because we didn't know about the things.
No.
However, as you say that though, if you're having a great stretch of time and then you hiccup for a couple days, be gentle on yourself.
Yes,
Like I had a day today where I was kind of grumpy. I'm kind of sick. We don't know what's going on. I've been to the doctor. It's been going on for 3 weeks now. And I was a little grumpy. And it was just about staying by myself for a little bit and doing my little thing. And now I'm having a great conversation and the whole grumpiness is gone.
yeah. So have self-compassion.
Yeah,
Yeah.
self-compassion. There you go.
Yeah. Self-compassion is very important, but very difficult to obtain.
Oh,
It definitely can
it
be. And we
is.
can be our hardest on ourselves. That is something we
Yes,
talked about a few years. Compassion was a big thing that you really had to kind of open your heart
Oh,
to.
I had no compassion. The narcissist, I have
yeah,
no compassion for people whatsoever. Get up and go to work. Like just do what you need to do. Because
Yeah.
I was
yeah. Oh,
trying to
but
work
you are lazy. Why don't you go to work? That means you're lazy.
I'd work 6 or 7 days a week and I'd be going to 12-step meetings and I'd listen to these people whine about being broke. And I didn't have a lot of money, even though I was working 6 or 7 days a week, but I had enough to go out for dinner every night of the week. Uh,
Yeah,
and I'd be looking like, but then I look back, those are the guys, a lot of them are still clean because they had fun and learned about having fun. All I learned about was to go to work and be grumpy and miserable all the time.
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Having it so it's I hope this conversation might put a little spark in some of those people out there who think, oh, do I have narcissistic tendencies? Maybe I can do some shifting. Maybe we'll get that sort of
Yes.
audience to look at themselves as well as, of course, anyone who feels like they're a victim of it as well. So
Yeah, and to look at themselves and make the necessary changes.
yeah, exactly. Life's a journey. It keeps going.
Yeah, that's a very good, yeah, something to remember. Yeah,
And as well, Catalina, you also do have speaking engagements as well.
yeah.
Where have you spoken, or what have you spoken about? I assume
Well,
it's
I speak at conferences about narcissism, empowering women, and so on.
perfect, excellent.
Yeah,
So
and I like speaking of that because it's important to hear, you know, to understand that it didn't happen only to us, and because you know I believe okay we can't change the narcissist in general. If you
yeah,
can change, okay, yeah,
No,
yeah,
yes,
yeah,
but yeah, but we can empower others, you know, men and women to understand not to stay in those relationships and so on. So we can do something.
well,
yeah.
the truth is we can't change anybody.
True.
No,
They
no, no,
have to
no. Of
change
course, we can't change.
themselves.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes, yes, of course. Yeah, but we can, for example, in Romania, this year, over 60 women were killed by their husbands. So over
Wow.
60, there is a huge number, and they stayed in toxic marriages, and after that, they ended up being killed. So, yeah, and it's something happens here. So that is why it would be important, you know, to teach those women about what it means, you know, what toxic relationship means, and so on.
Have being the position that you play and that you see people, have you ever been any kind of ridicule from their partners or any from
Mm.
society as whole because you're kind of condone divorce versus
Yes, yes, but for example, in Romania, if a girl is raped, the first thing we say, you know, oh, but she wore such a short skirt. Well, she looked for it. Oh, but she deserved it. Oh, but she didn't want to be raped. Why did she wear such a short skirt? Why she get out of the house like this? Or maybe she did something wrong. No, she did something wrong. Maybe, I don't know, she tried to flirt to this man, or she definitely did something wrong. That's the thing we are saying. So victims are blamed.
wow,
Or
that
if they go to the police tells them, oh, but, and they say, okay, it's domestic violence and so on. Oh, you'll get back together. Oh, you'll get back together. It's okay. So after that, they go back home, and a few days later, they're murdered.
Wow.
that sounds like the 70s and 80s in Canada.
Yeah, 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 yeah,
So,
yeah. Yeah, so this is sad, and maybe we are trying to change this. I mean, judges and police and society and so on to, you know, to interact differently with victims of domestic abuse and to receive support because they are looking for support. But if they go to the police and they hear, oh, don't worry about this, just go home, they go home.
wow. Yeah. Yeah, that's scary to just say go home. I think
Yeah,
one of the things I think about the effect or the legacy you're leaving for your own children with the decision you make. And I think
yeah.
that's huge. Is that sort of a big area of discussion when you have your clients?
Yes, yes, but for example, in toxic families, of course, the children will learn and will see exactly that the woman stays there, that you know, the woman sacrificed herself for the sake of the children. Oh, I stay with the man and so on. So, of course, the children will do the same. So it's important to realize that when we are staying in toxic marriages, we teach our children, boys and girls, to do the same, or we teach them some, you know, some things.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
So
we are not only we are not only doing something bad for ourselves, we are doing something bad for our children too.
yeah, exactly. Exactly. Yeah. What's that called when you break the cycle, I
Yeah,
guess? Break
breaking the
the,
cycle.
Yes, yeah, yeah. So it would be great to be yeah, to break the cycle and not to take it from one generation to another.
yeah. Yeah, it's important. And everybody has the power within themselves to start making that shift, whatever that is. Yeah.
Yeah, but it's important to go to therapy or to go to
Yes.
support groups or and to find that power.
Yeah, exactly. And
To
there's so
find that
many,
power.
yeah, and there's so
Yeah.
many different places you can get that. I mean, there are lots of places out there that people can that can help you.
Yes, yes, and there are support groups and but it's important to find that power
Yeah,
because
And,
we all have that power.
yeah,
Yes.
and the biggest thing I know from experience, don't give up.
yeah,
Keep searching for
Yeah.
your solution. It took me a lot of years to find my solution to get me to where I'm comfortable in life,
Yeah.
like decades. And but you're worth it. Just don't give up.
Final pause. If you've got a message on your heart and want to be our guest, don't be shy. We'd love to hear from you. Visit FordWalkingChoices.com scroll to the Soulmates and Suitcases podcast section and click Apply here. Now back to the show.
Yes, yeah, but it's very difficult because most of them, they are sure they are worthless.
Yes, I know.
So
I felt like I was worthless.
yeah, so it's very difficult to know that, and why should I try? Oh, I'm worthless. Nothing good will happen to me. So there is no use for me to try. There is no use for me to go to that interview. Oh, but no, there is no use for me to go to the interview. They won't accept me anyway.
Well,
And so on and so on.
Exactly.
6 or 7 years ago, when I started seeing the trauma therapist, my
Yeah.
favorite saying was, "The universe hates me."
Oh,
How can you get any good out of that when you think, like, you can't get any good out of life when you have a mentality of that? And it took her a
yeah.
lot. She's like, "I hate it when you say that." That's what she would tell me every time I would say it.
It doesn't
Yeah,
serve you.
like yeah, it's like there is no hope. If the universe hates me, that's it. That's over.
Yeah.
There is no hope for me. Not
One,
here, not in the future. Yeah.
yeah, one thing. Oh, sorry, go ahead.
And I share it because I know there's other people that might not think those exact same words, but they really think similar. And if I can do it, anybody can do it.
Yeah, that's great. A lot of people believe nobody will love me. Nobody loves me now. Nobody helps me. Nobody supports me. Yeah.
Yeah. And I'd love to we're gonna kind of start to tie up our conversation, but to
Yeah.
leave our audience with this understanding, just when we think there's nobody and there's no support and I suck and whatever those things are, there's always the other side, always. So the opposite, just like your night and day and hot and cold, there's always some other polar side. And it can be, you might not see it yet, but there can be that other side.
Yes. And in a few years, you will thank yourself that you didn't give up.
Yeah,
Oh, this
exactly.
story, we're in this self-development class, and we got told to go out and pick something. I wrote about a rock.
Oh,
Lisa wrote about a tree. Tell your story about the tree.
Oh, you may tell me.
yes, please. Yeah, please.
It's fantastic.
So we were asked to go out and find something out in nature and tell about its journey. So we literally, I
Yes.
think, wrote for an hour. And I wrote about, I noticed the wear on the tree, and I noticed how its journey through through the seasons. Like, oh, I'm sure, kids stood on its branches and played, and I'm sure some, branches broke, and then, the leaves fell off, and it looked old, and it was just, standing there and da 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 da. And I was going on. Then I talked about, and I noticed I'm looking at the roots. I'm sure the roots go way deep and they probably touch that other tree's roots over there. And anyway, I wrote like all about this tree. I had so much fun writing. And we came back into the session and they're like, okay, everybody's done. She said, oh, I want you to change every time you put the word tree, you put your own name there. And I was like,
Oh,
oh my gosh, I just wrote about me. Like getting
oh,
broken and looking ragged and being stepped on. But at the end, I had connections. And I was yet to find the connections, like the roots. And so it was
yeah.
like I was just like bawling.
Oh, it was
bawling.
amazing. It
I was
was
like, oh gosh, I didn't even realize. So sometimes things are right there and we don't know until we do it or see it or have the experience.
Yeah.
It's pretty cool.
So exactly like that. Yeah. So don't give up and just look for the good, for good
Exactly.
people to be your support group, for good things, for
Exactly.
something good.
And there are great people out there. Great people out there. So tell us, Cătălina, and tell our audience, where can people find you? How can they join your movement and maybe become a client of yours as well?
Well, they may contact me on Facebook and we may take it from there.
Perfect. Excellent. And your movement is on Facebook, like that's...
Yeah, Alive in Her. And I just discovered school. It's a platform and I'm building a community there too.
Amazing. Yes.
Yeah, I just discovered it last week, so I'm
Yeah.
building a community, and I will create their conferences and webinars and therapy group and a lot of things.
Awesome.
So they may also look for me on school. It's Alive in Her Global Village.
Yes, school is SKOOL if you're not aware of the platform. Yes.
Yeah, yeah. And the community is called Alive in Her Global Village, and that's exactly what is going to be a global village. And we will make great things there.
Excellent.
I need to really thank you. Because one of my questions, remember how you said, sorry, Scott, it's for women only and we don't want you to.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, most of my life, or I should say probably all my life, I would hear that and it'd be like, aren't we all the same? And it's what I learned I can't remember what part of the conversation you were talking about the women. I really want to thank you for holding a safe place for women to go to. Because I know a lot of men, me included in my past, haven't treated women very well.
Yes.
And having a safe place for them to go is pretty cool. So thank you. And you are an amazing, brave woman.
Thank you.
Thank you, Cătălina. And we appreciate your time and the conversation. And I think this will be a well-viewed episode.
Yes, and I will invite you when I will organize on school events. I will invite you because you are a great inspiration. Yeah, together, and so I will definitely invite you there.
Please
And
do.
we will definitely do
honored.
great things together from now on.
And
Awesome. Thank you.
can you go on YouTube and hit subscribe and
Yes, I
tell
will definitely
people
do
about
this.
it? And if you know
Yes, I will
anybody,
definitely do that.
if you know anybody else that would like to come on, let them know. And
Yeah.
Yes, perfectly. And please send me the links of your books so I can buy them, read them, and recommend to my clients and to my community. Just send me the links and I will buy them.
All right, before we actually go, one totally unplanned question.
Thank you very much.
this might be a silly question, but in Romania, is the language English?
Romania.
No, Romanian,
Okay,
but
that's
a lot
right.
of people speak English. So
Okay.
we speak English. And the funny fact, that I can express myself easily in English than in Romanian, which is my native language, because in Romanian I didn't have a voice. And being raised in a narcissistic family, I didn't have a voice. And so when I speak in English, it's very easy for me to talk about narcissist and my life. But in Romania, it's not so easy.
Interesting. It's tied to that.
Yeah. I realized it last year. And when I realized that, oh my God. Yeah, because it's like in English, nobody, reduced me to silent. Nobody told me not to use my voice. So, that is why it's easy for me to do it.
That's so interesting. I think a lot of people are going to go, woo.
Yeah, but when I realized it, it was mind-blowing for me too.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Yeah.
Wow.
It makes complete sense, though. It makes complete sense.
Yes. And, in narcissistic family, everything you say will be used against you, of course, and it's very dangerous to speak. But when I speak in English, I don't feel it dangerous. But when I speak in Romanian, I somehow in the back of my mind, it appears that, danger, something, bad might happen to you.
Wow.
Yes.
Isn't the brain and the experiences and everything so fascinating? I find it so fascinating.
I do.
Thank you so much, Cătălina.
This has been amazing. Thanks for reaching out.
We're going to say thank you in our usual Thai way. We say kapun ka. Thank you.
Kapun crap.
Thank you. And see you soon.
See you soon, Cătălina. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Want to get our books fast and at the best price? Get your electronic copy at https://payhip.com/Lisa Scott Brearley authors. Again, that's https://payhip.com/Lisa Scott Brearley authors.